Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Ashtavakra Gita, competitive study. Lord Krishna says, meditation, that one should sit on his or her own seat. That should not be high nor low. That should be covered with grass or deer skin and a cloth, one over the other, in a clean spot, sitting there in a comfortable position and concentrating the mind on God, controlling the thoughts and the activities of the senses. One should practice meditation for self-purification. One should sit by holding the waist, spine, chest, neck, and head erect, motionless, and steady. Fix the eyes and the mind steadily on the front of the nose without looking around. Make your mind serene and fearless. Practice calibration. Have the mind under control. Think of God and have God as the supreme goal. Now, in about meditation, you see what Ashtavakra says. Ashtavakra says meditation cannot be practiced. Ashtavakra says meditation cannot be practiced. You are alone, void of action, self-illuminated, and innocent. Your bondage is this, that you practice meditation. Meditation cannot be practiced because meditation means mental projection. Because meditation means mental projections. Mental projections arises because being is not known. Mental projection arises because being is not known. When you are doing meditation, you become doer. When you are doing meditation, you become doer. Trying to do meditation is like entering a dark house and trying to fight with darkness and to get rid of it. Do not try to get rid of it. The actual situation is reverse. The presence of light is the absence of darkness. Light a lamp of and darkness will disappear by itself. Light a lamp and darkness will disappear by itself. Darkness does not exist. It is the absence of light. You are alone. No one is your companion. The body is not your companion. The breath is not your companion. Thoughts are not your companion. Husband, wife, family, friends, beloved ones, none are your companion. Neither they are born with you, nor they will die with you. Neither they are born with you, nor they will die with you. No union can be made with anyone within. You are alone, void of action. Do not raise the question of your karmas. Do not raise the question of your karmas. If you ask Ashtavakra, one can be liberated right now. Ashtavakra says you have never done anything. Out of vital energy, body might have done something. You have never done anything. You always stand separate in non-doing position. You always stand separate in non-doing position. Doing has never happened through you. How could you do meditation? Your bondage is your practice meditation. You are making efforts for meditation to bring fruits for liberation. This is a one kind of greed and bondage. This is also one kind of greed and bondage. Raise the sword of awareness and sever it into pieces. Ashtavakra says, where there is problem, there is meditation. Where there is problem, there is meditation. Owing to the destruction of such things as wrong identification, one is driven to strive for mental stillness. Recognizing this pattern, I am now established. Recognizing this, I am established. The next says, I am established beyond meditation. The next says, when you are sick, you need meditation. The next says, when you are sick, you need meditation. If there is a pain and problem, you need meditation. The next says, soul never becomes sick. Where is need for meditation or medicine? Heart need medicines. If you are with heart, you need medicine. If you are not with heart, medicine not required. Doing meditation, you become doer, and again bondage starts. Janak says, when you are beyond meditation, you are witness. When you are beyond meditation, you are witness. Knowing all this, I am established myself beyond meditation. There is no place for doing meditation. Peaceful person never bother for meditation. For the mystic who has found peace, there is no distraction or attentiveness, no higher knowledge or ignorance, no pleasure and no pain. By whom inner distraction is seen may put an end to it. But the noble one is not distracted. But the noble one is not distracted. When there is nothing to achieve, what is he to do? Salvation through meditation is also a desire. Salvation through meditation is also a desire. The wise man, unlike the worldly man, does not see inner stillness, distraction, or fault, even when living like a worldly man. One who is beyond mental stillness and distraction does not desire either liberation or its opposite or their complements. Recognizing things are just imagination. Great soul lives as God. When someone do meditation to get rid of something or opposite, what he can renounce? What he can renounce? The learned is ever liberated. He thinks this world is unreal and will die one day. He lives like a Brahm. When discrimination is not there, meditation is not required, just as meditation is not required when you are not sick. The ignorant make a great effort to practice meditation. The ignorant make a great effort to practice meditation and stopping of thought, while wise see nothing to be done and remain in them. Lord Krishna said, Nirvasna. Lord Krishna says, Nirvasna means desireless. We must be desireless. There must not be any desire within. When we have the desire, we get the pain because the desires never fulfilled. When the desires are never fulfilled, they give the pain. When one is completely free from all desires of the mind and is satisfied with the Supreme Being, by the joy of Supreme Being, one is called an enlightened person. One is called as enlightened person. O Arjuna, you free from all desires. You free yourself from all desires and attachments. A person whose mind is unperturbed by sorrow, who does not crave pleasure, and who is completely free from attachments, fear, and anger, is called an enlightened sage of steady intellectuality. Contented, who is self-satisfied within, is called contented. We are never self-satisfied. We are always unsatisfied with ourselves. Our whole life depends on the dissatisfaction. If someone leaves us alone, we do not feel good because lonely we have to live with ourselves. Because lonely we have to live with ourselves. We don't like to live with ourselves. We require someone to give company. We feel good with others. Lonely, everyone feels bad. Who is not happy with himself, how can he make happy to others? Who does not consider eligible to give happiness to himself, how he will give happiness to others? We are not self-satisfied. 1 minute loneliness becomes heavy to us. We get bored with ourselves. We never bore with others. We see TV, we read news, papers, we go to see pictures or to a friend or somewhere. Man does not want to live with himself. It looks very difficult to live with himself. Lord Krishna gives first indication contented. Contented. Whatever Arjun has asked, his very reply is very deep and balanced. Contented. Just be satisfied. Until and unless we feel that we can get pleasure somewhere else, that means we are not satisfied with ourselves. It is crystal clear. Our attention is always running to others. There is no happiness in others. As soon as it will be clear, heart will stay and enjoy within. Marks of a self-realized person. Marks of a self-realized person, enlightened one, Lord Krishna said, when one is completely free from all desires of the mind and is satisfied within the Supreme Being by the joy of Supreme Being, then he is called an enlightened person. O Arjuna, a person whose mind is unperturbed by sorrow, who does not crave for pleasure, who is completely free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called an enlightened sage of steady intellectuality. The mind and intellectuality of a person become steady, who is not attached to anything, who is neither elated by getting desired results, nor perturbed by undesired results, nor perturbed by undesired results. When one completely withdraws the senses from the sense objects, as a tortoise, withdraw its limbs into the cell for protection from calamity, then the intellectual of such a person is considered steady. Lord Krishna said, Arjun, when one thoroughly renounces all desires, is satisfied within his soul, he is called a sage of settled wisdom. He is called a sage of settled wisdom. Krishna does not say to leave anger and fear. Krishna does not say leave anger and fear. He says who do not have anger and fear within him. He is stable in his wisdom. There is need to understand the differences. Person who has no anger and fear within. Don't understand by this you can stop the anger and fear by suppression. It is not so easy. In place of trying to restrain the anger, you try to raise it high. In place of in place of trying to restrain the anger, you try to raise it high. You try to instigate it and look at him. When someone abuses you, you see within how the anger is arising. When someone abuses, you should thank him. You should say, it is very kind of you that you have given me chance to check my anger. Such person is suitable in his wisdom, who is equal in pain and pleasure. Such person is stable in his wisdom, who is equal in pain and pleasure, who is equal in happiness and unhappiness, who is equal in respect and disrespect. To understand Lord Krishna, it is necessary to understand difference between suppression of senses and to be free from senses. To understand the difference between suppression of senses and to be free from senses. Key is living unattached with the senses. Otherwise, man will start to ruin his eyes and ears and cut his tongue. You may think it cannot happen, but you are wrong. But you are wrong. People had been there in this world that had pierced burning iron rods into their eyes. That had pierced burning rods into their eyes. Obstinate and stubborn saints had cut their pennies. Such sages are there in this world. Krishna is talking about something else, desireless, who is not happy in happiness and not painful in pain. Person who is not looking for happiness and pleasure, he will not be painful in pain. Who has never desired happiness He will never be painful in pain. Where there is desire to get something or other, there will be pain. See how poet has said, see how poet has expressed his thought. देखा है हर चाह बनी आखिर में दुख का कारण देखा है हर चाह बनी आखिर में दुख का कारण फिर भी चाहे मोक्ष अधर चाहना आखिर ना छोड़ा चाहना आखिर ना छोड़ा No one desire pain. Pain just comes from behind. Pain has only way to come from behind. Pleasure and happiness. Behind pleasure and happiness. He has no other way to come. What Lord Krishna says to shrink the senses like tortoise is very different from the thought of these so-called religious saints. We have to understand these verses of Lord Sri Krishna properly, otherwise man would start to shatter his eyes and make himself blind. It is very much important to understand the meaning of shrinking the senses. Shrinking the senses does not mean to ruin them. Shrinking the senses does not mean to ruin them, or shatter the ears and eyes, or to cut the tongue or penis. If you think no one does so, then you are wrong. People had done this in the past. Such saints happened to be in this world that had ruined their eyes and cut their penis. Ashtavakra says, Niralamb, Nirvasna, Niralamb and Nirvasna. He who sees the world may try to renounce. He who sees the world may try to renounce. But what desireless will do? But what desireless persons will do? He sees nothing. Attachment and detachment both are the regions of your bondage. For whatever we have detachment, that we have with more pleasure, that we have with more pressure. This is not the freedom. One who knows universe is illusion, he becomes desireless, pure awareness, and finds peace in the existence itself. Person who is always contented and desireless, the fortune and misfortune comes its own time by grace of God. Fortune and misfortune comes its own time by grace of God. The unhappiness and pleasantness arises when you desire something before time. When not fulfilled, we get restless and pain. Person who knows all events, fortunate and unfortunate, occur due to natural cycle, he is always satisfied. Such a person never feels dissatisfaction. Dissatisfaction arises from your desire. Dissatisfaction arises from your desire for something, and when not fulfilled, you get anger and tension. That is why Ashtavakra says, do not desire anything. Then no one can make you restless, and such a person is called healthy. All these senses start functioning from inside. All these senses start functioning from inside. He who is beyond existence and non-existence, who is wise, satisfied, free of desire, does nothing, though the world may see him in motion, though the world may see him in motion, like a leaf in the wind. The liberated one is undeterred from life, desireless, independent, free. Don't take the sport of God even. Ashtavakra says, don't take the sport of God even. Do not depend on the God also. Once you start depending on God for anything, you will become dependent permanently. You will decorate the ideal of God and worship again and again. This is also your imagination. Who has seen God? Who has known Him? First you were entrapped in this world, now you got entrapped by God. Under both emotions you are not free. Why do you require the help of God? Why do you require the help of God? You want help of God to fulfill your ambitions. You want to use God for your selfish motives. You want to use God like a servant. You are begging something or others in your prayer. It is flattery so that you can put God in your service. It is flattery so that you can put God in your services. Whatever a learned person does, he does it happily and not bothering for the result. He walks, he walk if he can, and not if he cannot. Whether done or undone, he is balanced and unconcerned. The real state of happiness is peace. He does not say that he is worldly and neither says that he is denouncer. Whenever and whatever he has to learn, person does it happily. Whenever and whatever he has to do, he does it happily. He does nothing from his side. He does nothing from his side. Whatever he has to do, he does, that is all. One who has left expectation is always in liberation. One who has left expectation is always in liberation. Is like a dry leaf. The worldly attractions have no effect, though he lives in this world 24 hours. He is above all unaffected, untouched, and contented. There are two types of person in this world. One is bound and other one is unbound. One considers a rope is a snake and is afraid of. He runs and other one brings stick to kill a snake. Both are in illusion. The fact is to be seen by light, that is a rope. There is no snake. Ashtavakra philosophy is entirely different. Open your eyes and see. You have to be enlightened. You have to be enlightened to see the fact of life. There is no bondage in this world. It is your marriage and nothing else. He further says that there is always a third front, neither to be this world nor run away from the world. Third front of being a witness is true. Third front of being a witness is true. Awake and see this world without attachment and fear. Lord one is who has awakened himself and see there is nothing to get in this world. Whatever you want to get is already with you. You are above all. No one can disturb you. You don't desire no fame, no defeat, no respect, no disrespect. You develop yourself in such a way nothing can affect you. Lord Krishna says, you develop yourself in such a way nothing can affect you. Lord Krishna says, sleep awakening. A yogi, the person of self restraint, remains wakeful when it is night for all others. It is night for the yogi who sees when all others are wakeful. The person of self restraint remains wakeful when it is night for all others. It is night for the yogi who sees when all others are wakeful. Dark night is also moment of awakening for awakened one. What is sleeping time for everyone is also awakening time for enlightened one. Krishna says, enlightened one always awaken even in sleep. Who has seen his sleep awakening, he can see his death awaking. Lord Krishna says, dark night, which is for sleep, for all is awakening moments for yogi. Actually, you also don't sleep completely. You also awakening within somewhere in sleep. You are also awakening somewhere in sleep. Suppose we are sleeping and someone shouts Ram. All will hear, but whose name is Ram, he will say, who is calling me? Everyone had heard, but whoever is Ram, he says, who is calling me? Who is there not allowing to sleep peacefully? What has happened to Ram? There must be something within Ram which is awakening. Someone is observing and recognizing that my name is Ram. Another example. One mother is sleeping with her just born baby. One mother is sleeping with her just born baby. Let the storm come or let the lightning be there in the sky or thundering in the clouds. Her sleep will not break up. But if her son even do light murmuring, immediately she will put her hand on her son. She is awakening somewhere within. She is awakening somewhere within. Lord Krishna says, awaken one always awakening even in sleep. We all are living in sleepy moods. We don't know what we are going on doing the whole life. Sex, smoking, drinking, abusing, fighting, cheating. We are not awaking. We are not awaking even in day. How we will be able to understand Sri Krishna's message of awakening even in the night? It seems very difficult to understand, but it is very easy to for the person who has settled within. We have to learn first to be awakening even in daytime in our regular life. If we can be awakened in the day, we can be awakened in the night. Our problem is we are not awakening even in the daytime. Mahavir has said a wonderful fact to his disciples. Lord Mahavir, Jain Muni, has said a wonderful fact to his disciples. Hi, sages stay awakening, walk awakening, sit awakening, move awakening, and in the last Mahavir said, sleep awakening. You may say, what nonsense, sleep awakening. Why to sleep then? You do one thing, try to see the sleep when it comes in. How it comes, please let me know. How it comes, please let me know. The day you will be able to give the answer, you will be able to know sleep awakening in the night. The day you will be able to give the answer, you will be able to know sleep awakening in the nights. You have slept 1,000 times in your life. Every day you sleep. Have you seen the sleep coming sometime? Even after sleeping for 30, 40 years, we don't know how sleep comes in. When it comes in, how it comes in, and what is it, we don't know. How it comes in and what is it, we don't know. How wonderful it is. We have 30, 40 years of experience, but we don't know what it is. We don't have any experience of sleep even after so many years. We sleep daily, but if someone asks us what is sleep, how it comes, what is the face of it, is it like sunset or is it like dark night? What happens to you while you are in sleep? We will say we don't know because until we are awakening, there is no sleep, and when sleep comes in, before we know, we are in grip of sleep. Before we know, when sleep comes, we are in grip of sleep. Before we know. Lord Krishna says, awaken one sleeps awakening, and one whoever has seen his sleep, he can see his death and birth awakening. Ashtavakra says, Yogi neither awake nor asleep. Surely the supreme state is everywhere for the liberated mind. Such a one is neither awake nor asleep, and neither opens or closes the eyes. What a strange thing that enlightened soul neither sleeps nor awake up nor moves his eyes brows. This is the position of wise person as he does not do anything himself. His doership comes to the end. He is only witness. When he is not doing anything, he is not responsible for anything. He is worryless and happy. The wise person who is contented in all circumstances is not asleep even in the deep sleep, not sleeping in a dream, not waking when he is awake. Lord Krishna says, I am like sky and space, perceives that all beings remains in me, without any contract or without producing any effect. As the mighty wind moving everywhere, eternally remains in space. Just as the all-pervading space is not tempted because of its subtlety, similarly the spirit abiding in all bodies is not tempted. Ashtavakra says, as there is no relation between the sky and smoke. Ashtavakra says, as there is no relation between the sky and smoke, he who has known that is untouched within by good deeds or bad, just as the sky is not touched by the smoke. however much it may appear to be. I am infinite like space, and the natural world is like a jar. To know this is knowledge. There is neither enunciation nor association. I am like the ocean, and the multiplicity of objects is comparable to a wave. To know this is knowledge, and here there is neither enunciation nor association. Is it. I am like the mother of pearl, and the imagined world is like the silver. To know this is knowledge, and here there is neither enunciation nor association of it. As there is no relation between the sky and the smoke, similarly, the contented and learned person is never affected by sins and virtues. As there is no relation between the sky and the smoke, similarly, the contented and learned person is never affected by sins or virtues. You must have seen smoke rising from kitchens or factories and other places, but there is no effect in the sky. The smoke vanishes after some time, and the sky is as it is. Similarly, yogi is never disturbed by physical pains and pleasures. Worldly incidents do not affect his witness. I am like the sky and sea. These verses of Janak are strange. It seems Ashtavakra had gone deep in Janak's heart. These words spoken through Janak are as Ashtavakra wanted to reply of Janak is the same. Those words spoken through Janak are as Ashtavakra wanted the reply of Janak is the same. He expressed that he is like the sky and this world is like a pot created by nature. This world created by nature is like a pot made of by pot maker. This is the wisdom. Therefore, neither there is renouncing nor acceptance nor dissolution within. Janak expressed quite revolutionary thought. I am like a sky, and this world is like a pot which is created and destroyed again and again. The sky is not affected by all this. Janak says he is like the sky. This is wisdom. Which knowledge you are talking about to get rid? I have already got it. I am already liberated. I liberated at the moment when you said you just be liberated. What is more for liberation? Again, I should go in search of salvation. No, you are saying to awake desireless. Leave it. Now I will not come in your temptation. Janak certainly awaked. Janak certainly awakened. He says this world though seems separate from me, but it is not separate from me. The sea waves are product of sea. Waves may come and go, but sea remains as it is. I know I am sea, and it is, and its products cannot affect. This is wisdom and knowledge. I am unaffected by outer things, and I am as I am always. What to get and what to leave, all are within. Where is salvation and where is liberation? I am already liberated.